So here it is. This is the BMW M850i Gran Coupe, or Gran Coupe in New Jersey English. It's BMW's latest Gran Coupe, and it's their biggest Gran Coupe. But I also think it's the best looking one yet, and I think it's the best looking BMW currently on sale. I mean, it's just such a gorgeous looking car. I mean, just look at that. Look at that, just the roof line and the aggressive haunches. It's just such a beautiful car. This is obviously in black, but it has some cool carbon fiber bits down here and in the mirror caps right here. So it's very, very sporty looking, very sharp. Got the big wheels. These are 20-inch wheels. Sorry for my brief confusion. 20-inch wheels, and they're on, thankfully, winter tires, which is nice because it's a bit chilly here in New Jersey. Having it over Christmas vacation, so had a good opportunity to really sample a lot of things about this car. And I think it's just such a beautiful car. Little carbon in the rear bumper here, around the exhausts. Really, really nice little rear diffuser. And I love the way the C-pillar, so the roof line starts, and it beautifully sweeps into the C-pillar here, and then just so beautifully comes down into that little rear deck lid spoiler there. Just what a beautiful looking design. I love, this is the best part of the car right there. So that little muscular rear shoulder line right there. It's just gorgeous looking car. And I love the rear tail lights, how they kind of work their way up in here and are kind of like sculptures. Just really beautifully work their way into the rear fender right there. Just a lovely looking car. I really think it's BMW's best design at the moment. Just fantastic. Under the hood is a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, which I'll show you right now. It's the same one that you get in the BMW M850i Coupe and convertible. So swing around, BMW's funky dual hood release. Lift that up, and there she is. All 4.4 liters of her. And it makes 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Now that's very, very powerful. And it makes this car very, very fast. 0 to 60, I think BMW claims in about 3.6 seconds, which is very fast, but I honestly think it's faster than that in reality because it just feels so damn quick. And what I think makes it, or helps it feel so quick, is it's just complete isolation from outside noise or, vibration. It's just such a wonderfully calm and serene driving experience that it makes it just feel so easy to drive quickly. All right, let's take you inside and show you a lot of why that is. So the interior, as you can see, is just lovely. I have my camera bag right there, sorry about that. But it's just a lovely, lovely interior. I mean, it's not as flashy or as glitzy as something like maybe a Mercedes-Benz S-Class Coupe, but the material quality is absolutely excellent. I love the way this looks in here. Just these aluminum speaker grills, the way they kind of curve underneath the door pull right there. All of this is aluminum. It's a real metal. It's not plastic. If it looks like metal, it is metal in this car, and I love that. The leather is just gorgeous. The seats are lovely. Now, the same basic seats in the front that you get in the coupe or convertible version. Actually, in fact, the whole front cabin is exactly the same as the coupe or convertible. But that's not a bad thing because it's a lovely cabin. What is different, though, is the back seat. So let's take you back here. As you can see, I have a car seat in here, and there are two little cup holders. Now that might seem pretty basic, but the fact is that the coupe or convertible, you can't really fit a car seat in the back. You can actually fit it, but then the front passenger can't really sit. As you can see, there is a car seat for a child and 2 nice cup holders right there. Now that might seem kind of basic, but the fact remains that you can't really do that in the coupe or convertible. Now you can fit a car seat in the back of the coupe or convertible, but it means the front passenger basically has no leg room if they're an adult over, 4'5". So it's really nice to be able to have an 8 Series with a back seat. The back seat's actually quite large too. You have these really lovely sculpted seats, which are extremely comfortable. And I mean, me sitting behind myself, I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'9", but as you can see, sitting behind myself, I have plenty of knee room. So I'm quite comfortable back here. And, I could sit back here for a really long time, actually. I could probably spend a couple hours back here and be perfectly comfortable. It's a really good back seat for this sort of car. Over here, you get 2 USB-C ports and some, climate control buttons. You have heated seats back here. So that's really, really nice. You have a little place to store some stuff, maybe loose change or something, a little rubberized mat down there. And then you have 2 nice cup holders right here, which, can fit some surprisingly decent sized bottles. And then you have a little storage right there. Not the craziest of cabins. You don't have a tablet or anything in that armrest, but it's still very nice and luxurious. Honestly, for the price, I do think BMW should have put more back here. Something like, you'd see in the 7 Series or some of its competitors like the S-Class or Audi A8, because it would have made this very, very expensive car seem, a bit more worth the money. But the quality is there. The quality is just fantastic and lovely. If you look down here, I want to mention this. You have these little beautiful magnetic leather straps for the latch systems. And I think that that's lovely, because putting in a child seat, is an important aspect of this car, and these just make that a little bit more luxurious. Now, putting the child seat in was actually quite easy. It was actually very easy because of the way BMW has the tether system in the back right there. Makes it really easy. You could put the tether from the car seat through this little hole in the seat here to the little latch system or the little tether system back there, and it makes it really nice. Now, the only problem is getting a child actually in there because the roof line is quite low. So when you actually have to get the child into the car and then into the seat, it takes a lot of, finagling to get him in there. Now I'd like to show you the trunk, because that's another aspect of this car that's going to be important. So let's pop this open. Look at that. I told you I borrowed it over Christmas break. Presents. So you can see my wife's lovely wrapping job with her flowery bag. And you can see those aren't actually small presents. Those are pretty large, but this trunk is very deep. Same actually with the 8 Series coupe and convertible models. The trunk is surprisingly deep. It is in this car too. It's deep. It's actually pretty tall in the Gran Coupe versus the coupe or convertible. You can get some pretty big items in there. The only problem is that the actual trunk opening, if you can see, is quite small. So while volume-wise you can fit a lot in, it might be difficult to get larger items to actually fit inside the trunk. But aside from that, it's actually a good sized trunk. I think it's more than enough, and I think it makes this car more practical, much more practical than the coupe or convertible because of it. Now, if you look down here, BMW has a little bit of a win. Those are real exhaust pipes. Now, it looks a little cheesy seeing 2 tiny little exhaust pipes in this massive, massive opening here, but at least they're real and not fake like you see in Audis or Mercedes nowadays. So kudos to BMW for that. However, there are still fake vents. Fake vent right there. What's with the fake vent, BMW? Very upsetting. I kind of get why they do it, but it's still annoying. And you have power tailgate even on this car, even though it's not a hatch or anything. Being an M Performance model, you get big M Sport brakes as standard, and they are very, very, very good at hauling this very, very heavy car down because it stops very well. Brake pedal feel is good, and those blue calipers look cool as well. I also like the sort of, I forgot what BMW, like cerium gray or something like that. I don't know if that's a real term or BMW made up one. But this sort of like bronze, mattish, grayish kind of color that they add for all M Performance cars. And it looks good on this car, especially in black. And it looks kind of cool contrasting with the carbon fiber mirror caps there on the little air breather there. It looks pretty cool. And you have carbon fiber again down there, which contrasts well with that. I love the headlights. They look fantastic on the 8 Series. And you have the little blue accents there and the laser lights. And the turn signal indicators, they flash kind of like eyebrows, which looks really, really, really cool, especially at night. These headlights are also super, super bright. BMW's new laser lights, and especially you shine the high beams at night, and it's like switching on the sun. It is crazy how bright they are. It really is remarkable, and it's well worth whatever you want to pay for them. So yeah, that is the BMW M850i Gran Coupe in a nutshell. It's a surprisingly good Grand Tourer. It is not a full-on sports car. It is much more of a big, luxurious GT. And if you like this video, stay tuned because I'll have a full in-depth review coming soon.